Okay, it's time for the vellum pockets. So you have vellum in your packets, okay? And I want to show you this, all right? I set my vellum out on my table, okay? So I know which is front and back, okay? Now, can you see here? I have cut a half moon in there because what I want to be able to do is stick my card inside and then be able to pull it back out without struggling. And that half moon allows me to do that. Okay. What I want to tell you before we start is using the double-sided tape on vellum. It's tricky because I'm going to have, they make 1/4-inch tape at Talus, but it's too expensive and we didn't have enough for me to send home with you. And so we're going to use the 1/2 inch, but then you have to cut it down. And so it's not pleasant, but you're going to become very skilled at it. The other thing with the double stick tape that you may notice is it picks up fuzz. And I know a lot of you have cats at home. And so you just want to keep the cat or the dog away from your surface. You want to clean your surface before you start because cat fur and lint get stuck in your tape. And then when you put the tape on to the vellum, you see all the gunk, and that's not what we want. Okay, that's not clean and professional. All right. So with that said, I would like to show you what I'm doing down here. Let me readjust. So I have my front and my back, okay? And I don't know if you can see this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my cutting mat, and that's going to help me line up my tape. I want to overlap this edge, the edge of my vellum pocket, 1/4 inch on this side, and on this side. All right. And then I will stick the other side to that side. All right. So let's try it. So I pull my tape out and I want my tape to go further than my page. Okay. And you know, I'm pretty good at this, but you may want to practice the placement of this before you start. Okay. On a couple of just plain sheets of paper. So I don't know if you can see that. Does that help at all? Does that light help? I want to check and see if that light helps you. Okay, I don't think that light helped you, but I have another way you can see this, see the tape better. I put something dark underneath so I can see where I'm cutting. I take my scissors now and I cut off the little bits of tape that are excess on both sides, okay, like so. And then, of course, on the end. Can you see how I'm doing that? And I allow my scissors to guide where I'm cutting. And this is the part that's a little bit tricky because, you know, you don't want to cut into your paper here and then the tape gets stuck to your scissors. So what I do is with every cut, I just go ahead and take that excess tape off. And you know what? As I see this, I see that I left a little bit too much tape. Okay. So I'm going to take this back out of the way and I am going to put down another piece of tape. And this one's going to go on the bottom of the envelope. All right. So that's about 1/4 inch. Oops. Okay. I'm going to cut that end off, stick that tape to the side. I'm going to cut that end off, put my tape over, my excess tape over there, and then, oops, I'm going to come on in here and make a nice big cut and take that excess tape off. All right. Move this to the side. Okay. Now I have one more piece of tape. Oops, that's not long enough. So you know what? I'm going to throw that one away. Got one more piece of tape, and I am going to place it down. All right. I'm going to bring my darker surface so I can see my end. All right. Darker surface, and I'm cutting it here. And I'm taking my time. There's no race. And I want to suggest that you practice this before you do it, because sometimes it takes a little practice before you can get this going right. Okay, so now I have my double stick tape side sticking up, and I am going to take my other side and put it, I'm going to match the corners, and I'm not going to stick it all together until I know it's perfectly on top of that page. Okay, and when it is, I take my bone and I run my bone over my edges. Okay, great. So what you're going to notice, oh, I see a little arrow there I didn't take off. What you're going to notice is my little half moon is to one side, and I'll show you why. Since we have our envelope here, let's decide which is front and back. And I'm saying this is the back of my book. Okay, that's the back of my book. So I am going to take my metal triangle. I'm going to lay it down like so. Maybe I can lay it down like that. That's better. I'm going to take a length of double stick tape, and I am going to put it on this side of the mountain fold in the accordion. And I want it to be exactly on the edge. Okay, lift it up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to snip off that excess. Do you see how I'm doing that? All right. So I want to review this. You see that there is a 1/4 inch here, but there is a 1/2 inch that we'll use on your spine, on your cardstock spine. Now, I measured this so your half moon would be in the center of the page. And I am going to take this. I want to make sure that my vellum page is, a 1/16 of an inch, an 1/8 of an inch in from the edge. And then I press it down on the accordion. Okay, and I see that I have a little extra there. Okay. And do you see how I'm not showing the back, right? This is the front. Your half